So what's going on, guys? My name's Chopper, and welcome everybody to today's video. Now, we've discussed Easter eggs in Erangel Remastered in the previous couple videos that we've made. We've talked a lot about the things that have been included, such as secret rooms, different messages hidden around the map, and the basic generalized lore of the map as well. And as far as I've been able to tell, as a community and on the channel here, we've done a pretty good job about covering and discussing all of these things that have been included in the map, and there's one thing in particular that I've held off on talking about until now because I felt like it deserved its own video. So we're going to be discussing a particularly interesting Easter egg thread, I guess you could say, because it's not just one isolated Easter egg, and I think that this has implications for not only this map, but also future maps that we'll get in Battlegrounds as well. And before we start the video, if you guys don't mind taking a quick second to drop a like rating on the video, as it would really help me out a lot. And of course, if you are brand new around here and you haven't already subscribed, make sure you go ahead and do that. It's absolutely free to you. And we're getting dangerously close to 250,000 subscribers, so thank you guys so much for the support on the videos recently. And finally, one quick big announcement. We made a very major change recently. We are now streaming every day over on Twitch, so that's what the live streams are going to be from here on out. If you guys are supporting on this channel and you don't already follow me on Twitch and you would like to catch the streams, check the link in the description, go follow me over there, and that's where we're going to be live every single day. But that out of the way, guys, let's get into this. Now, just the other day, PUBG have released a video on their YouTube channel that is a behind-the-scenes look at Season 4, and the contents of this video, the whole point of it was to show us and give us a more inside look at the development of Erangel Remastered and kind of the thought processes behind the developers and how they wanted to tackle this map. And to be honest with you, you can watch through the whole video. It's about 10 minutes long, and there's a lot of good stuff in there. You can pause it at different moments and see some really cool stuff if you're interested in game dev and that sort of stuff. But what we're interested in today is the Easter eggs and the implication that it has for hidden things inside of Erangel. Because they make it pretty clear in this video that even though we found all of these secret entrances and like a lot of those rooms that they wanted us to find to begin with, there is still much more to discover. And I think I have a very solid lead on where to start. There's a point about halfway in that video where they make a very solid mention of the military base having a plane crash landing there, and then that's why the radio tower is knocked out. Now, that's kind of always been like the aesthetic of it, but he makes a point very specifically in this video that players should be asking why this has been, ran through the radar dish, why the plane crashed there, and also who shot it down. We've touched on a little bit of that on videos in the past. We've talked about the lore of Erangel, but as soon as I'm back from my trip, guys, I'm actually going to be making an entire video about the full story of just PUBG, so be on the lookout for that, and that'll cover that in detail. But the point I'm trying to make here with this is that the lore of this map and the story that they're trying to get across is really important to them for us to pick up on, and there's clearly a lot of things that we have not even seen yet. All of these secret rooms, quote-unquote secret, seem to be like the low-hanging fruit, right? It's the ones that they wanted us to find first, but there's also probably quite a few secrets that are supposed to take a lot longer. For an example of that, you may have saw my video very recently where not too long ago I found another set of ciphers in the back of these sheds on Miramar, and this is clearly like another message that they want us to find, but it was planted in the map like literally over a year ago, and so they're very sneaky about hiding these things into maps. PUBG is implying with this new Erangel that all of the clues that they've hidden within this map, some are subtle and some are not so subtle, and every single one is going to help you piece together the entire story or the narrative that they're trying to come across with. So this brings me to the thing that I really want to talk about today, and this is something that was added into the patch notes of Erangel Remastered, but was never really explained why it's here, and it kind of seems like it's being underused right now, and that's because I don't think we fully figured it out yet. The brand new turntable item is literally one of the strangest things that's ever been added to Battlegrounds, and I think it's just confusing to most players, and I would say the majority don't even know where to find these, but if you don't, I got you. Now, I want to give a big shout out to Player IGN and the Datamine Discord for working out exactly where every single location for these turntables are. You can see them on the map right here. These are all potential spawn points where you can find this. And the turntable, if you find it at one of these locations, is an item that you can actually interact with. And so what this actually does, if you have no idea what this is all about, I'm going to quickly play a clip for you guys so you can see what this does. So this is kind of weird, right? Just by watching this clip, you can get an idea of what the turntable is all about. It's basically a music box that can be heard by you and all other players in the vicinity that rotates through different songs for some reason. PUBG mentioned in the patch notes that the turntable will stop automatically after one song if you let it play through. It can also be destroyed, interestingly enough, and not only does the turntable now play music, but also the cars do as well. And so what I think is going on here is there's something very specific that needs to be done with either the turntable or the cars themselves, or maybe a combination of the two that is something we've not discovered yet. Now, as far as I'm concerned, the turntable is way too prevalent of a feature just to be a music box, in my opinion. There has to be something way more associated with it, and whether or not we need the cars or not is up for debate. But I think as far as the turntable goes, maybe a specific amount of each song needs to be played in order to unlock a secret different song, or maybe there's a hidden message. This is where things get really interesting, right? Imagine you play a specific time of each song that is available on the turntable, and after doing that correctly, then maybe you get a secret message that was left by either the rebellion or the military that was at Erangel itself. Maybe certain tables need to be destroyed during a certain song or something. There's an unbelievable amount of possibilities that come with either the turntables and also the car radios, which I don't think we should forget about as far as its importance either. But since PUBG's strategy here is to give storytelling through sort of the environment and let us discover it for ourselves, and kind of embedding as much lore as possible into all of their features, is a really good move in my opinion to do this with turntable. Now, speaking of radio messages as well, there's a lot of compounds on Erangel Remastered that have very suspicious looking radios, and especially if you know the one right by the military bridge, there are an absolute ton of radios in this particular building alone. There's a bunch in the secret areas as well, which I really don't think we've discovered everything to find in those yet. I think there's way more to the communication side of things than we give it credit for. And also in that video, they make great mention of paying attention to the costumes when it comes to more explaining the lore and filling that in a bit. So now not only are there clues in the environment itself, but literally the players' costumes are supposed to be representative of the time period during this war, so the 1960s era-ish. So from the combination of all of these things, it looks like they're giving us all of the pieces, but they're not putting it together for us, and then we get to work out exactly how these planes got shot down, who was here before, why did these things get shot down. We get to answer these questions using these clues, and I really think the turntables and also potentially the car radios are a big part of it. Now, when it comes to using the car radios as an Easter egg, and in order to unlock maybe a specific audio file or maybe an Easter egg song, I don't exactly know how it would be done. Maybe using a similar method as the turntable, but I feel like both of these need further investigation. Now, what's so cool about all of this is that PUBG is basically telling two stories at once, right? So there's the story before Erangel, the history of it, where we have these two forces clashing, the military and then this rebellion that's very clearly stated in this map. But also, we have the second ongoing story of the child, if you watch the Season 4 trailer, who is now basically manifesting this Battle Royale game. For all intents and purposes, that child is basically PlayerUnknown himself right now, until we get an actual name for him, if we do. But this seems to be the story that the single-player mode is likely going to run with, but it's going to incorporate both of these story elements into it. And then that means it's important that whatever we discover in Erangel Remastered, whether it's a brand new Easter egg, a hidden message, maybe some kind of cipher similar to Miramar, we have to figure out which story it belongs to, because there's two different time periods coming together in one, and then the stories are separate for each. For example, some of the costumes are supposed to be old-timey soldier sort of things, and then the other ones are more modern. Modern outfits are supposed to be what the players in the Battle Royale would wear, and then of course the past costumes are supposed to be for soldiers and then possibly the rebellion and that sort of thing. And how this relates back to the turntable is clearly that's an artifact of old Erangel, or at least it was there originally during that battle or war or whatever. And so if we can get any message out of that, then it's likely going to be recorded from that time period. And then similarly, if we get something recorded from a car, if we get something interesting with the radios, then that message is probably from the more modern time. Since most players in the game actually don't know about the turntable, and for those people that do, they likely don't know where all the spawns are. I had no idea where to find them without the map, and so if more players are aware of where to find these things, then odds are somebody's going to stumble across something very interesting. The theory that certain turntables need to play a specific amount of a song, or some need to be destroyed, they could go unbelievably in depth with this Easter egg if they wanted to convey a message that was hard to come across, similar to the Miramar thing, which is still completely unsolved, even though we've made a little bit of progress on it. Still, this is something that I think has massive implications for unsolved Easter eggs. The turntable is the #1 Easter egg thread that we have right now, and I think this should definitely be pursued by most players if you're interested in that sort of thing, and I'll continue to keep you guys updated if anything major happens with that. And if PUBG hasn't already added anything to the turntables that's just beyond regular songs, then I think it's a huge missed opportunity, and they could easily slide that in with a hotfix. But I'm always going to go with the assumption that there is something more than meets the eye to most of these things that get added into Battlegrounds, and we just have to look hard enough in order to discover it. So if you guys have any theories whatsoever about what to do to either activate something hidden within the car radios or the turntable itself, or literally just any Easter egg finds that you think would be interesting, definitely let me know down below what that is in the comment section. But I really hope you guys did end up enjoying today's video, and if you did, please make sure to leave a like rating, subscribe if you are brand new, and guys, I will keep you updated if anything brand new happens with Easter eggs. And again, like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm going to be making a video covering the entire story of PUBG. That's going to take a little while, and that's going to be probably quite the long video, so I want to make sure that I have everything before I put it together, but make sure you're looking forward to that. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like rating if you guys enjoyed, subscribe if you are brand new, and of course, before you leave, make sure you check the description and you go follow my Twitch. This is where we're going to be streaming over there every single day, and you're not going to want to miss that. So go follow up there, and I'll see you all on the streams. But anyways, guys, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all on the next stream or the next video. Take it easy, and peace out.